What's going on, YouTube? This is the Critical Observer. I just want to preface this video. It does cover some disturbing matter. So you can see here, it's titled "When a Predator Realizes He's Been Caught," and it is from EWU Body Cam. Subject here is Isaiah Fields. I have seen this video before, and it just sparked something to where I felt I needed to make a couple points and talk about it. That being said, I know my voice is alluring, but let's get to the video.
Just so you know, Kate had a baby and had a dad.
In April of 2024, a community is left horrified and outraged when a woman with profound intellectual disabilities is discovered pregnant at her care home in Geneva, Illinois. Kane County detectives launched an urgent investigation, confronted with the grim task of unmasking a predator hidden among the very staff entrusted to protect her. The following is based on official police records, and some of the following footage has never been seen before. According to their website, the Marklund Center is a non-profit organization providing care for adults with severe developmental disabilities. Multiple news sources state that Kate, a 43-year-old resident with Rett syndrome, who was unable to speak, stand, or use her
syndrome, rare genetic neurological and developmental disorder that affects the way the brain develops. I've been around people who have been diagnosed with that. They're nonverbal. Most often they are nonverbal. So there's no type of, consent in this whatsoever. And they have developmental disorders as well. So there's no room for any of that. Unable to speak, use her hand. So no type of communication whatsoever, not even a sign language, not even a signal. So this, I don't want to give him the dignity of calling him a man, but this beast, this predator, decided upon someone who could not outwardly express, what was going on to them, and had no choice but to be a victim. And for that, you deserve castration and a bullet.
hands, was discovered pregnant during routine medical tests. Investigators with the Kane County Sheriff's Department compiled a list of all male employees who had access to her in late summer 2023, interviewing each one and collecting DNA samples.
I'm glad they got the DNA samples of the men involved.
Yes, Sheriff's Department.
Yes, I'm Brooke. This is Brandon.
This is not
Thank you.
the offender.
So okay.
So I know there's abuse and neglect, and I know one of our residents was sent to the hospital that morning, so I am assuming something happened with that resident. And I also do know it was only males that have been suspended.
For what happened. If
so,
and it's about an abuse case.
You okay?
You're gonna think it's something
sexual.
That, I thought this guy was guilty the first time I looked at the video because.
And you're not in any trouble.
No,
he eventually does break down.
I really enjoy my job, and
just
the
really
fact that
he cares about people. People.
No, it's okay.
They haven't.
The thought of that happening is very troubling and upsetting.
Okay. And like I said, nobody has accused you of anything.
No, I'm 100% aware.
Especially someone in this position.
Sorry.
No, you're okay.
I'm not crying for myself. I'm upset for the rest.
It's okay.
I applaud.
Have you ever noticed anybody else acting strange around them, or anybody that shouldn't be in their room?
No, I mean, we are very, we don't open the door for everyone. And as for staff, before this incident, I never thought anyone would do something like that.
That was kind of one of our other questions. Is there anybody you would think would be capable of?
That question right there kind of baffled me. Is there anyone you think would be capable of doing something like this? What characteristics would you have to show for a person to be like, hey, yeah, that guy, he could have raped someone, or he could have, raped someone. What kind of person do you have to be where someone would just connect you to that type of activity?
I would have never have thought this would happen at Marklund's.
Okay.
Before they move on to question other employees, he leaves them one urgent request.
Catch the bastard.
After speaking with several more employees, investigators are left with no clear leads. However, they do learn that prior to the COVID pandemic, only female staff typically cared for female residents, a policy one employee said changed due to staffing shortages. Investigators move on, next meeting with former employee, 22-year-old Isaiah Fields.
How you doing?
There are more eyes on
Good.
when it
You want to
comes
go in or just talk out here?
Just for people like this. So that's
How'd
the
fights go?
creep right there.
I heard you were out there
Isaiah
fighting in
Fields.
Chicago.
Yeah, I was fighting in the Golden Gloves tournament.
How'd it go?
Pretty good.
I'm sorry for pausing this a lot, but this is the point I wanted to make. I had blinders on when it came to this type of stuff. I believe that, the guy who was doing this stuff would look like the stereotype that we see on TV, the balding nerd in his mom's basement, the weirdo with the Coke bottle glasses hanging out at the park. This is a tall, red-headed, he's got locks. He's a boxer. Relatively attractive guy. Like, he's in shape. He's young. He's got a car. He's got a spot to lay his head. He's pursuing something that could potentially make him, a lot of money. He can get women. And it just never dawned on me that these beings, they're not doing this because, they, in their minds, have no other option. This is just full-on predator activity. You wanted to victimize someone. You wanted the ultimate control and did not care how it came about. So it was just shocking to me to see someone that I believe could go out there and pursue a normal, healthy relationship with a person, but just elected to do this.
I lost by decision in the finals, but I was I had him chicken legging, so
Okay.
I'll see him again.
All right, good. Good for you, man.
Rivalries and amateur. Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
After briefly meeting Isaiah's mother, they head to the basement to speak in private.
So there was,
Dude is
an
tall,
incident that happened there
tall.
involving one of the residents. If you can just tell
hold
me
a
kind of
conversation,
what when you worked there,
I
what's
don't
the
get it.
dates that you worked there?
Like early August to definitely sometime in September.
Okay, early September, late September, you think?
I honestly don't remember. It was still warm outside, so
Okay.
maybe early to.
I'm talking to the cops.
When you were
It's,
working there, what were your
predator
job
versus predator.
duties?
I was.
They're trying to get him out in the open to feel comfortable to give certain things
PSP.
up.
Okay, I've heard that talking to people. They've said that before.
You do that by getting the
Okay.
person to say yes to
I was
certain
mainly
things, just like
training
the
the entire
officer
time I was
did
there,
right
so I
there when
technically didn't have
agreeing
any,
that he heard a certain term with
I had
other
to do it
residents.
on my own.
Okay.
So everything I did was shadowed by another person.
And
Okay, so
that
you're always
right there
with
saying
somebody
that he was
for the most
shadowed by
part?
another
Like
person.
90%
It's a
of the time.
disassociation
Okay.
tactic.
Someone left early.
He's trying to
Okay.
feel less connected to the people in the facility,
Gotcha.
thereby
Gotcha.
trying to calm himself
you ever have
down
any
and
problems with
feel
anybody?
less guilty about what he has done.
Did you ever see anybody
If
that
he
you
can
thought
show less guilt,
was a little
then he
off?
can throw
Like,
those scents off.
like another, especially a male employee. Anybody that you thought like something.
But the
This guy's
rocking
made
back
some
and forth is
statements, or he said something, or
Clear
just
physical
the way his
manifestation
interaction
of
was with the
his
residents.
nervousness. There's a battle going on.
that I know of
His head is,
personally, honestly.
he keeps
Okay.
tilting.
I
He
didn't
wants
stay
to
there long
vote.
enough to get,
He
like,
does not want to be there. These
Tell me with
officers are in
anybody.
his home, so his safe space
After leaving
is
Isaiah,
violated.
investigators
She
meet with
deserves to
another
violate
employee
somebody.
who brings up a familiar
It's supposed to be
name.
their safe
Is
space.
it true that she delivered the baby?
Is it true? I'm not divulging anything. It's an open investigation,
Okay.
so I can't go into
How do
details
you
about that.
violate someone like
I
that?
can't.
Can I
Bring
ask you
yourself to
about
that point
a
of
certain
betrayal.
individual that may have
Yeah,
Isaiah Fields?
that's who we just talked to.
So you just
That's
talked
the point that I was talking about before. This guy's name has come up multiple times from multiple people. So what characteristics did you display in order for people to believe that you can be a rapist? And multiple people said this. Why was this not reported to facility that this guy could be a possible danger? Or if it was, why didn't they act on it? The best cure for anything is prevention.
So we just came back.
Though the employee doesn't explain why he suspects him after all the swabs are collected and processed, a DNA test comes back positive for 22-year-old Isaiah Fields. On May 10, 2024, he's brought into an interrogation where he waits for questioning to begin.
Like a magazine cover, but this guy,
Yeah,
he
it's
should
changed.
get girl, it should hurt, bitch.
These little Jesus, man.
Fuck you.
These little Jesus, you really the best son.
You wasn't saying that when you was doing what you was doing.
Get the Jesus.
Hell no.
Investigators enter and read his Miranda rights.
Let me just start by asking, do you have any idea why you would be
Pounded out.
right now?
Fuck you talking about, Lord Jesus.
Okay, no clue?
Bitch.
Okay. You know why I talked to you before, right, about the Marklund stuff?
Why?
So,
You just told me
I'm
it
not
was a
gonna
case of
interrogation.
Okay,
Lord,
okay.
please help
so
me.
what I would like to ask you, what we would like to know, if you could go over again, what, when you worked there for that just basically a month, wasn't that long?
A month.
What your training was like and what it was like after training, like what your job duties were. If you can just go over that again, I would appreciate
process
it.
of grooming, not that it makes
Most of the time that I was
man.
there, it's just training.
Swift.
Like 3 weeks.
Swiftly.
We just sat in a room and watched videos all day. That was it.
However, several employees who trained Isaiah gave a different account, explaining his duties went beyond watching training videos.
And what were your daily activities when you were training him? What were you guys in charge of?
So we're in charge of doing the CNA work, so like getting them up, dressed, changed, and then transferring them to CDS, and then repositioning them, interacting with them, and then
Stuff
doing
like
the
this
same
just
thing,
makes me
changing
more
them.
sick because
and then sending them.
I know people.
You're training how to
that
bathe,
suffered
how
and
to
didn't get their justice.
Yes.
Care for them.
Yes.
So that was
Some
part of
people
his
are-
training as well.
Yes.
But he would have never been alone.
No.
Something like that.
How do you bathe them?
No, not much. But
So we put them in a tub, and they
Let's
have
sprinkle
a
here.
chair, and they're completely, obviously
Submerged?
No,
Or-
that's
oh,
not-
okay.
you give them
They're the water is running, or they have what is it called?
Like a faucet or a shower head.
So you basically sit like not like this, but a chair in a shower, and then you can take it off and
Yes.
spray them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so at some point, at the end of your training, were you not with the trainer anymore? Were you kind of on your own schedule during the day?
I forget what they called it, but it was like a
You called it work.
probationary period.
Sure.
So
That's
like
what's
you
called.
were
It's
just
called
like
work.
with someone until you were like considered an actual nurse.
This account is consistent with what his trainers told investigators.
Would you have left him alone, or anybody
You get to show
for that,
someone
alone for an
considered
extended period of
a
time
nurse.
with the resident while they're on training? Are you leaving anybody alone, the trainees with the residents or anything like that?
After a
Not
month.
supposed to be left alone with the residents.
As questioning continues, Isaiah insists that he remained in his probationary period until he claims he was fired for consistently showing up late.
I just like don't really like fit in too many people.
Employees who trained Isaiah highlighted odd behavior he exhibited during his training.
It's kind of odd.
Okay.
In general, just like very off.
Anything that stuck out to you was odd or anything like that?
He wouldn't listen. He would always question, oh, why do you have to do it that way? And it's like, you're in healthcare. Like, there's specific ways to do certain things.
Questions.
He would like face toss some of the residents, and we have cameras in the classroom, and the angle of it all was just really bad. They would
Yeah.
look at the cameras, it would literally look like he was hitting her.
I just want to clarify, he never actually did.
No, he never actually did.
Okay.
Too playful.
As the interrogation continues, Isaiah appears to become
get
overwhelmed
because
with
you're
emotion, and investigators
do
work to put him at ease.
A job
What's upsetting
that's- should be considered, a very important and hard job if you have to deal with so many people.
It's okay.
I don't want to know a lot. The
I'm
boxing
here to listen. If it's upsetting you, please let us know.
It's also
We'll see what we can do to help.
a predator, trying to
Not
lure
really.
these
Like
victims.
anything in particular, just
Yeah, we playing. It's called grooming.
Oh.
It's weird.
just life's not easy, you know.
I know.
I don't start crying
That's
now.
all.
Lady was
I get it, like
doing
it was
what she was doing.
curveballs.
You didn't give a damn about her suffering when you was doing what you was doing.
I've never had the guidance of
When
a
you had
man.
the guidance of a
I've
man,
not
don't
really-
worry.
No.
What you doing, you're going to get
I just
guided by
never
a lot of men.
really had like proper guidance.
As one detective leaves the room to get Isaiah more water and a snack, the remaining investigator sits with him as his emotions continue to unravel.
Take a breath. You're okay.
Jesus for some lube.
I'm not gonna let anything happen to you. You're all right. And I'm really sorry to get that much again.
Maybe 4 instead of
But
5
that's-
tonight. got his hand on his shoulder. I mean, I know you're supposed to make him feel comfortable so that he opens up to you and confesses.
It takes a lot for you to sit here
in that room,
and allow yourself to have these feelings.
Monster,
to allow yourself to have emotions. That can be a lot, especially in front of people you don't know.
I'm not trying to be difficult. I just think it's in my best interest to give it to me.
All right, I can't answer any more questions then.
See, that's one thing. He is intelligent.
Okay, I'll leave you at it. She'll give you.
Before asking more questions.
What's that?
More questions.
Yeah, you tell me. Yeah, whatever.
Just so you know, Kate had a baby and
She had a baby.
a dad.
And you are the father.
As investigators exit the room, Isaiah processes the gravity of the situation and the consequences he's facing.
My life is over.
Yes, your life is over, but not in the way you think. Deservedly so.
Give me the opportunity, Lord Jesus.
It always amazes me how people quickly turn to religion, at the worst moment, but when they're doing their worst,
Just give me one
that
chance.
seems to be the case.
Give me one chance. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'll do anything. I'm doing military. Forgive me.
This is despair at its finest. The bargaining, he's going through the 5 levels of grief.
Please just give me one
All
chance.
in one shot, in chains,
Please
in
give me a chance
handcuffs,
into this child's life.
interrogation room.
I'll be able to take offenders
So
list.
this man is suffering.
Anything.
He's trying to
Please don't
bargain,
make me spend years in
which
jail.
I don't know,
I'm
but
praying.
Multiple news outlets have reported that Kate developed a dangerous pregnancy condition known as preeclampsia, and that the infant died after spending 11 weeks in neonatal intensive care. However, we've not been able to independently confirm these reports. According to an official press release from the state attorney's office, on January 14, 2025, Isaiah Fields pled guilty to aggravated criminal sexual assault and was sentenced to 25 years imprisonment in the Illinois Department of Corrections, with 308 days credited for time spent in the Kane County Jail. In addition, Isaiah must register for life as a sexual offender in accordance with the Illinois Sexual Offender Registration Act.
Good. That's more videos from EWU. Definitely check those out later. But that's it. Just my point in this is that this doesn't look like a guy who needed to victimize someone in order to have a healthy relationship. He just chose to do it, and I see why this video has been popping up, because this happened in 2024. It just highlights like it could be anybody. This guy had his whole life together. He had a career in healthcare. He had a career burgeoning in boxing, and his compulsion to do wrong and lack of empathy and care for another person was so strong that he tossed all of that away and only developed a sense of empathy when it was him on the line and it was him about to suffer. And that's not empathy at all. That's self-preservation and, woulda, coulda, shoulda. But that's the world we live in. It's cold, it's unforgiving, and there are people like this, every corner, every place. So don't get twisted. Just watch out, be safe, be vigilant, and be a critical observer.